Never apologize, for confidence isn't loud. It isn't arrogant. It doesn't need to take up all the space in the room to be powerful. True confidence is rooted in self-respect, self-awareness, and boundaries. And one of the most visible signs of a confident woman, she doesn't apologize for being who she is, not out of pride, but because she understands that her worth isn't up for negotiation. Today, we're going deep into 10 things confident women never apologize for. These aren't just tips, they're a mindset, they're a declaration. Let's begin. Confident women never apologize for putting themselves first. That doesn't mean they're selfish. It means they know that you cannot pour from an empty cup. They understand that their well-being is the foundation for how they show up in the world. They don't feel guilty for saying no to things that drain them, or for prioritizing rest, joy, and self-care. They have learned that burnout doesn't make you a better person. It just makes you more exhausted. So they make choices that nourish their mental, physical, and emotional health. And they do it without guilt. Confident women never apologize for their ambitions. They're not afraid to dream big or take up space in the boardroom, the studio, the classroom, or the stage. They don't shrink their goals to make others comfortable. They understand that ambition isn't a dirty word. It's an expression of purpose. They know their dreams are valid, whether it's starting a business, leading a team, building a legacy, or redefining success on their own terms. They walk with intention and clarity. They work hard, and they aren't ashamed to say they want more. More impact, more fulfillment, more life. Confident women never apologize for setting boundaries. They know that boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. They protect their time, energy, and peace. They don't explain away their decisions or water down their needs. When something doesn't feel right, they speak up. When someone crosses a line, they draw it again, clearer this time. Boundaries aren't about controlling others. They're about honoring yourself. Confident women understand that saying yes to everyone else often means saying no to yourself, so they choose wisely. Confident women never apologize for their emotions. They cry if they need to. They laugh loudly. They feel deeply. They don't bottle things up to appear unbothered. They don't dismiss their intuition. They honor their emotions as part of their power, not a flaw. They know vulnerability isn't weakness, it's truth in motion. And that kind of honesty takes strength. So when they feel something, they let it rise. They trust their inner voice. They give themselves permission to be human, because that too is confidence. Confident women never apologize for their voice. They speak up, even if their voice shakes. They ask for what they need. They say what they mean. They don't sugarcoat their truth just to keep the peace. They understand the difference between kindness and people-pleasing. They listen with empathy, but they also stand firm in their values. They know that their voice matters, whether it's in a room full of strangers or a one-on-one conversation. And they don't dim it to avoid discomfort, because discomfort is often the beginning of change. Confident women never apologize for their appearance. They dress for themselves, not for approval. They embrace their bodies, their age, their style, their scars. They don't ask for permission to be visible. They understand that beauty is not a competition. It's a reflection of authenticity. They wear what feels right. They experiment. They take pride in who they are, not just how they look. They don't owe the world prettiness or perfection. They owe themselves truth. And when they walk into a room, they carry that truth like armor. Confident women never apologize for walking away from relationships that hurt more than they heal, from environments that drain their light, from friendships that feel one-sided. Walking away isn't failure, it's freedom. It's the courage to choose something better. Confident women know when to fight and when to release. They've learned that loyalty is beautiful, but self-abandonment is not. They don't justify staying small for the sake of history. They move forward, even if it hurts, even if they're afraid, because they trust what's ahead more than they fear what's behind. Confident women never apologize for their success. They celebrate their wins. They don't downplay their achievements to make others comfortable. They give credit where it's due, including to themselves. They lift others up too, but they don't shrink themselves in the process. They've worked for what they have, whether it's professional, personal, or spiritual growth. And they know that humility doesn't mean invisibility. They're proud. And that pride is not arrogance, it's earned. Confident women never apologize for changing. They grow, they evolve, they outgrow versions of themselves. They shift direction, they change their minds, they redefine their priorities. They don't cling to who they used to be just to keep others comfortable. They welcome transformation. They understand that growth is messy and beautiful, and they honor the journey because becoming is a lifelong process, and they are committed to becoming more of who they truly are. And finally, confident women never apologize for taking up space. They know they are not too much, not too loud, not too sensitive, not too bold. They've stopped apologizing for existing fully. They sit at tables, they lead, they create, they rest, they shine, and they do it without shrinking, without asking for permission, because they know they belong wherever they choose to be. And maybe that's the ultimate message here. You do not need to apologize for existing in your fullness, for living a life that honors your truth, for being different, for being powerful, for being soft, for being loud, for being you. Confidence doesn't mean you never feel doubt. It means you feel the doubt and move anyway. You speak anyway. You choose yourself anyway. So the next time you find yourself saying sorry for being too much or not enough, pause, breathe, remember who you are. You don't need to apologize for that. You need to rise again and again, just like the confident women who came before you, and just like the confident woman you already are becoming. If you like my content, don't forget to subscribe.